This didn't come up with the previous two characters, but another universal change is that charged mid straight up fatal low shield. This includes Saber charge 5C. Saber kind of lacked any way to beat shield mid pressure, save completely stopping all her momentum, and she didn't have great frame data anyway, so she was prone to kind of getting mashed on if she was wrong on her shield predictions. This should help alleviate her shield woes and pressure. Several of her normals got buffed. 5A and 5C have better upwards hitboxes, making them better at stuffing IADs in neutral or stuffing jump outs and pressure. 6C has an expanded hitbox, so corner combos are easier to land and they won't fall out as often. And JA also has more active frames, so it's easier to contest things with a big button midair. Saber's gameplay style is kind of a reactive neutral thing where she wants to meet the opponent where they are, and sometimes JA just wasn't active enough to get the job and get fatals, but now it should fatal much more consistently. 214B and 214C also have better upwards hitboxes, so they won't fall out of the end of very prorated combos. This is probably going to be more useful mid-screen, where her max damage ender is actually 214C. The biggest changes she got is to her Rekkas and dash cancels. There's a lot to dig into here, so let's get into it. First of all of her Rekkas have bigger hitboxes. Furthermore, the first and second stages of the Rekkas are actually dash cancelable on hit or block now. You can also go into the Rekka follow-ups by holding back and a button for the overhead, or 6 and a button for the low. Before in pressure, Saber's Rekkas were kind of always gimmicky. They had pretty poor frame data, and if you wanted to stop, you were liable to getting mashed out, and the player could also just tap shield. Now she can do things like dash throw or dash into a high-low for even more reward. This makes her Rekkas function more like they were imagined to, I think. It makes it a very strong mind game, even if the frame data on them still isn't the greatest, since you can stop at a dime or keep going. Speaking of her dashes, the flash on the feints she does from charge 214B and 214A have been completely removed. This is really necessary. Before, you always knew it was coming on the flash and just punished her for trying it every time. Now it's a lot harder to tell, and by the time you realize that the slash isn't coming out, you might already be getting hit or thrown. It's a very strong mix-up tool, and again, I think her dashes should have functioned like this from the start, so it's nice to see them get improved like this. Finally, her dives have faster startup now, and there's a charged version of B dive. These moves are kind of her bread and butter in the air, being a safe and very big air to ground that gave meterless combos on hit. I'm not too sure what charging B dive is supposed to do, aside from using it to stall to bait out anti-airs or maybe using the clash frames to beat something. In the Shiki video, I talked about him coming into his own, and I think this definitely applies to Saber too. Her offense was kind of weak, with various spots being easy to shield, jump out, or just escape easily in general. But between dash canceling Rekkas into throw mix-up or high lows, utilizing the removal of flashes on the feints to close the gap and keep up pressure after block normals, she's in a lot better spot, running a unique brand of offense that definitely makes her worth playing. Personally, I actually thought she was bottom 3 last patch, but with all these buffs, she's at least in the middle of the pack now, if not better. All in all, it's a very exciting time to be a Saber main, and I can't wait to see how the character develops.